Welcome back to the After Dark podcast where we debate topics that are none of our business. It's your boy Black Mike on the mic. We got Big Stir up top. We got a bunch of topics, but before that, Sterling, my man, how you feeling today? I always ask you, what you been up to? How was your week going? But this time I'm gonna switch it up. How are you feeling? How is your mental? How was Sterling Arthur Reid? That is his name, ladies and gentlemen. Sterling Arthur Reid. How is he feeling? Here, so let's get a score 1 through 10, and I'm gonna do this as well. 1 through 10, mental. 1 through 10, physical, and 1 through 10, career/passions.
Okay, so starting with feeling 1 through 10, like how do I feel like
So
mentally?
mental, physical, and career/passions. Where you stand today, and how are those measuring up today right now?
6.3 mental, like I said, good but not great. Could definitely be worse and it could be a lot better. Physically, I feel like a 7.4. Which I feel like it's definitely a step up from what I was like a little while ago, probably like a month and a half ago. After being like working out pretty consistently, I've gained quite a bit of weight. Not quite a bit, but I've definitely gained more weight since honestly the last time you saw me. Somewhere around like close to 10 pounds since within basically like almost close a little under a month.
Let's go.
Just eating a lot and like letting my body do a lot of the work. Aside from like some days when I skip the gym, like my body's naturally cutting weight, like it's weird. And then career/passion. I mean, this is one of my passions right here. Like obviously, like this is something that we've been pretty consistent on. Like aside from the July 4th week, I think that's an exception, but like been very consistent on this. Is something that makes me excited. It makes me happy. My career wise, I'm getting into a new job over the past like three or 4 months now. Like definitely going into a good direction. Had a good conversation with my director today about the direction of our office and where we're going. So I would give that like an 8.4.
Hell yeah.
So pretty solid. I mean, I feel like it's solid all the way around. I definitely want to get my mental up, but I definitely think that'll improve, in the near future.
Yes, we as men, because I feel like females are always having these conversations. We as men gotta just, ask our brothers, ask the other men around us, how you feeling? How's your mental? How's your physical? How's everything doing? Because we don't get asked that. We just kind of have to keep those scores internally in our head and just kind of, float with it. So it's never being asked for us.
Yeah. Yeah. How about yourself?
So, mentally, I'm going to say I'm going to go 7-1. I feel good mentally. I feel like there's nothing kind of, clouding my mind right now, nothing kind of lingering or hanging on to. But, there's still room for it to be a little better. I wouldn't say that I'm just like sprung and just, ecstatic all the time, but I don't really have anything that's bogging me down. Physical.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Physical, I'm gonna go 6-8, and that's relative because I have been working out more, and compared to where I was, probably 4 or 5 months ago, it is more like a 7-8 to an 8, but just relative now. The last couple weeks, haven't been feeling as active. Maybe cheated 1 or 2 days at the gym, so just not as just not as confident in where it was just 2 weeks ago. So 6-8, but still feeling really good. And then if we go to work/passions, jobs coming on along well. Like you said, this is my passion. We've been doing this consistently. Kudos to the both of us because, we very well could have quitted this a long time ago. Like this did not have to keep going.
This guy definitely stood up.
And now it's a habit. And we were just talking about beforehand, like we were both tired and, really didn't necessarily want to hop on the mic tonight. But it's such a habit now that, we just keep showing up and, that's what we keep planning on doing. So passion wise,
I wanted to
go ahead.
Go ahead. Once you give your score. No. Once you give your score, I just got one thing to say. We can roll into the segments however you want to like.
Passion wise, passion and work, I would say I'm an 8.5. I think, just where this is going, how it's growing consistently from a podcast perspective. Work is even kill. It's good. There's no super highs. There's no low lows. So I can't really complain about.
Super high.
Yeah, I can't really complain about work. It's even kill. It's what I expect out of it, and I get that every week pretty much. But as far as the podcast is going, and how I feel about where this is going, just showing up every day makes me feel good about what we're doing.
But I wanted to say big ups to us, big ups to the folks that have been in the community since day one, for the folks that have joined along the journey. This is episode 20 of the After Dark podcast. 20 episodes, 20 different weeks we've done this. I am phenomenally proud of my boy Mike. I know Chad was kind of here at the beginning of it all, but we couldn't honestly do this without Chad. I'm gonna be 100%. Like
1000%.
He's the CTO, like in the background. Like when there's technical issues on the other end, like my boys got. If Mike don't know what to do, like if he ain't there, we fucked. It's just simple as that.
Basically. I don't want to drown out with all the sentimental shit. I feel like some people might be in tears right now. If you're listening with somebody, you might be hugging the person beside you. We will get back to what we do best, and that is debating topics that are none of our business. I don't really know if we have a lot to debate today, but we're going to get down and break some shit down the way we do it, and that's the After Dark style. So let's go ahead and jump into the show. I don't even want to get into all the topics. I'm going to leave them a surprise today. We don't have too much on the dock, but what we do have to start off with is the king, Mr. Champagne Papi, Drake. He's making a press run again. He's back in the news. He's doing everything he's got to do right now, and we're seeing him show up featuring on a promo run on the Radar YouTube channel with Central Cee, doing a freestyle, and we're going to break that down first before we get into his other press runs that he's been doing. But for my question for Sterling, I know this is big on Sterling because my man Big Stir, he's been big on Central Cee. We already know how he feels about Drake. We know how everybody feels about Drake, except for our other brother Chad, who just does not like Drake, Wayne, or Nicki. But that's besides the point. I want to hear: did you think that Drake murked Central Cee at his own flow? And then, do you believe that Drake could possibly be the most versatile rapper when it comes to flow on rap beats? What do you have to say?
To answer the first question, like my thoughts if like Drake bodied Central Cee, let's just be honest, bro. Can we just be 100% honest?
Let's be honest, man. We don't tell no lies on this podcast, so go ahead. Let's be honest.
It's essentially the video is, I think, 4 minutes and 57 seconds long, I want to say. I think they are essentially rapping for 4 minutes. Drake gets about 2.5 minutes of that, I feel like. Somewhere around that. Central Cee has to squeeze out the other, what is that, like probably, 2/5, 40% of it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I mean, Drake got on the flow. He started fucking it up a little bit. I'm just gonna be frank with you though. Like, my boy Drake, brother. Stop using guns in your song. Did you hear that weak ass gun he did?
Like,
no, that ruined the whole
that
flow.
shit sounded mad zesty too, for me.
It was zesty as fuck. And look, bro, we know Drake. It don't matter. We could say Drake's zesty as fuck, and women's still gonna be with this man no matter what's going on. It don't matter. And I wouldn't blame you.
Yeah.
But if we're talking in terms of just bars, I think strictly because Drake had more time to build up a flow, within that flow, it made his rap better. Don't get me wrong, Central Cee did his thing. He did come a little flat at the beginning, but you could hear it at the end. He was starting to like roll into a flow, and I'm like, when you hear the ad lib, that I was like, damn, that shit do start to be hitting when he says that shit. Yeah. I said, that's my boy right there. I've been really getting the UK rap after I started getting on that song Sprinter, and like, obviously Central Cee's had other songs, but with him and Dave and getting really into it and understanding how their lingo works and like how much honestly how much cooler it is than American lingo. It's just so much better. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. We have the lamest shit on the planet. Like we literally sounds like a bunch of white dudes just got together and we're like, all right, let's throw a bunch of bullshit together and then let's bleed it into the black communities and they're gonna change it up a little bit and make it sound a little cool.
Well, even more than that, like when you really listen to UK rap, it's it's drawn from the essence of what rap is actually supposed to be. They're rapping, they're spitting bars, there's lyrics, and there's kind of like a very chilled out, mellow flow of how they ride the beat. And you bringing up that Drake had a little bit more time, and that's kind of why he might have appeared to have done better on the track. I also just think that Drake has more to pull from on a flex. This was a freestyle. When you freestyle it, and especially when you freestyling with Drake, Central Cee came with the same type of bars. They were just flex and everything. Drake has so much more to pull from when he's flexing. He is the flex king. If you want to bring out any rapper, there is no rapper.
Bibelos, to the Bobios, to the blah, 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 to the Vava, to the Zuzu. Whatever.
There's no rapper that can flex like Drake because he can make shit that I didn't even know exists sound like the coolest shit in the world. And I had no clue what my man is talking about, but it is on my bucket list to go to the Bibelos, to the Vava, and back to the Bibelos, to the Cinco Cinc underground parking garages. I don't even know, but that's what I'm fucking doing. I want to do that one day, and it's on my bucket list. So I will say Drake did. I think he did better on the beat, but you could also tell that Central Cee, like it took a whole lot less prep time. Like Central Cee it came off very natural. He didn't seem like he was playing a role.
He was busting that shit.
Yeah,
he was. I wanted to talk about a bar. I didn't mean to cut you off, Mike. There's a bar in there, so like how like Drake and him were like Central Cee was basically mirroring Drake. So whatever Drake said, that's how you know it's a true freestyle. Unless they really rehearse this shit, which I don't think they did. I think Drake's bars were every rapper has bars they haven't put in a song yet, and they'll repeat them and use them and whatever. Every rapper does. Does not matter, bro. Does not matter. But this is how I know that Central Cee's freestyle was pretty authentic. There's a bar in there where Drake says something about like, if I come in you, it's breeding time, and then Central Cee proceeds to say, if I do the same, basically if I come in you, I'm not leaving till that pill swallow. He basically said the exact opposite of Drake. Like, bro, Drake, I don't got the bread like you, bro. I just can't let women be having babies. Like, Drake's like, it's breeding time. I'm just gonna have the baby anyways. It don't matter to me. And I'm like, damn.
He's also capping like, fuck. I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe that shit for because if it was true,
he's on that flow tour.
If it was true, Drake would be out here like Nick Cannon with them 12 damn kids, them 12 damn curly nappy headed babies walking around. Bro, no shot.
We can jump to the next question on like the same on the Drake thing in a second. But I also wanted to state something about Drake's "It's All a Blur" tour. This is one of the this might be one of the first tours I've ever seen in my entire life of a rapper. He's under the classification of a rapper, right? Of a rapper where there are way more female or women in the crowd, or women that he's appeasing to women way more than the men. Period. I guarantee you it's a 60-40 ratio minimum at those Drake concerts for this tour right now.
Well, it also seems like that was a thought process, because I was watching a video with Academics, and he was saying like the whole Drake acting a little more zesty with the fingernail polish and his mannerisms and the pictures he's taking. Academics was saying like he believes that this is almost like a rollout stunt. Like he sees the numbers that Bad Bunny's doing with him being more fluid and everything in his approach and in his persona, and he's able to pull from the females, the guys, the gay community, and he's saying to himself that like Drake is just as polarizing and touches just as many people. If maybe he could brand himself as a little more fluid, he could also capture some of that market share of those different markets as well. And I think that he's fucking calculated. So I think that's probably what he's doing.
He's a smart motherfucker. And also into that same vein, it kind of pisses me off a little bit, like low key. It's like, I understand, like, Drake is such a smart individual. He understands showbiz, the rap game. He runs it all, like, for God's sake. Like, he knows what he's doing. You have not seen. Also, he knew that women were going to pay for these tickets more than men were, bro. It's just what it was. It's just what it was, bro. You know damn well to justify a $600 $700 ticket for me, brother. Like
Well,
I know a couple people. I know a couple people, a couple women that I know personally, very close, that are going to the Drake concert. And I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Like, I was like, man, if I had the bread or felt comfortable, then I probably would have got it. But I'm like, then I think back on it. I'm like, no, I can't even justify that, bro. I can't even justify spending that much bread to go sit behind a pillar.
go sit
And
behind
they
a pillar.
and they spent even more to get closer. So
I
they're
can't
talking
justify
thousands.
spending that kind of bread to go out there and get called to action by another man. Let me hear you make
Yeah,
some
like,
noise. We out here. Hey, hey. I like, hell no.
nah, man,
Most of the
he's a
guys
wild
at
boy.
that concert are probably in relationships too, because like, I feel like Drake has pandered to the women so much now that it almost kind of feels wild to just pull up with a squad of niggas to the fucking Drake concert. Like if you pull up with a squad of niggas, you're looking for what's out there. But I feel like a lot of guys now, I feel like it's very much women flocking over there. I mean, you see the bras going left and right when he's talking on stage,
Dude,
and a
that's
bunch of couples.
ridiculous, bro. That's ridiculous. And also, I want to get at the people. If people that are listening to this right now are watching this, if y'all are getting at that girl with the what is the 36G bra, bro,
Oh yeah, that shit was crazy.
you saw the video of when she like revealed who it was, like it was her, blah blah blah, and people were like coming at her, bro, like saying all types of disrespectful shit. I'm like, bro, let her live her life,
Why are they
brother.
coming at her?
Like,
Wait, why are they coming at her? For what? I didn't see
I
the
mean,
reveal.
she just, I mean, I think
What's up
people
with the
were. I
silence?
think I think people were expecting her to like. They thought that she was gonna be some like fucking supermodel, busty, like porn star looking woman, but she wasn't necessarily. Like she wasn't a bad looking girl. It's just what they. I don't think it's what they were expecting. And she's kind of like the way she was talking. I think she was a little bit drunk too, or tipsy, or whatnot. Because I definitely think she went to the bathroom and did the video. That's what it looked like. And yeah, she's just not. I don't think she's what people expected. And there were some pretty hateful comments in there. And I just wanna say like, look, that ain't never gonna be my girl throwing her bra up on the stage. I'm just saying, like, if you got a man and you did that, nah, can't even respect it. Can't even respect. It.
I
Don't
prefer
even
that
fucking
than the
come up
whole
with mine.
Kiki situation. If I'm being dead ass though, but
I
to
mean,
get
yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
to circle back to the second question though, I really want to get your thoughts and opinions because I have my thoughts, but I was really just kind of curious of where you landed on if you felt like because we've seen what Drake's been able to do from a rapping standpoint. I'm not really talking about his pop. I'm talking about strictly his hip hop rap records. He's got the whole like singing melody. He could spit bars with anyone. He can go UK style rap as well, and a bunch of other raps. Do you feel like Drake is has the most versatile flow in rap? If not, who would you take over Drake?
I don't want to give him this fucking title, bro. It's like me fucking stroking him off. Um, I'm really sitting here pondering, like, who the fuck else can do this shit, bro? Not Drake, please. Um, damn, there really fucking is. There really, there really isn't anybody. There isn't any. I'm so pissed off. I love Drake, but I fucking hate him at the same time. It's like, dude, he is so goddamn versatile. Because one, if he hops on a track and he does some weird shit, we always make fun of him. But usually that shit's a banger. It doesn't
Yep.
matter what I say.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what I do. His shit's gonna still hit. He could sit here and sing "I'm a Barbie Girl" and that shit would be the number one on charts. I swear to God, if that was on the Barbie soundtrack, they had Drake singing the cover of that song, it would be number one on the fucking charts without a doubt. No hesitation. Um, what I do want to say is that yeah, there's like nobody in the game that can replicate what he's doing right now. Like he is on a historic run. Like he has ran the past, I mean, 10 years to be frank. I mean, like I'm like he's getting not 10 years, let's say the past like 8. He's basically ran it since we were in high school. Like, let's just be fair. And that's a scary thing to say, that he can do whatever the fuck he wants and it doesn't matter what we say, it's gonna work. That's my piece. I want to see what you got to say about it though. Like,
So like it took me, when I was thinking about who I think is the most versatile rapper, just strictly off of flow on hip hop and rap beats, the only person that I was willing to take over
I think I know what you're
Drake
gonna say.
is who I personally have as the greatest lyricist in rap history, and that is my man, Mr. Three Stacks, Andre 3000. I think Andre 3000 has the most versatile flow that I've ever heard in my whole entire life. And I think the reason why he wins too is because he could do everything on any style beat, just like Drake can. If Drake wants to hit you with some R&B or some popish sound, Three Stacks got the hits that can do it, that are just as big. He doesn't have as many, but they're just as big as Drake's, pop hits. Like he can stack up with them as well. But one thing, and I believe the reason why I have Andre 3000 over Drake's, because I believe Andre 3000 could do Drake's flow quite easily. Like it wouldn't take him long to master. But I don't think that Drake could rap like Andre 3000. I think his flow is so unique, so southern.
It's that
Yeah, and then the really fast, like and he's like kind of going up and down and just kind of bouncing off the beat in ways that, like, how did you even hear that? I would have never thought of that. I don't know if Drake could do it, but that's where I'm going with it.
I think it's a testament to the times too, a bit, because obviously Drake, or I'll say like Drake. I can't say Drake because they'd be thinking I'm thinking about talking about Doctor. Andre 3000 obviously is extremely versatile. You're right. I mean, like he's someone that like you kind of like you can overlook him sometimes, even though he's been so great, throughout his time in hip hop. Because it's just like for this generation, he's not like the number one guy you're gonna think about, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And if you're a historian like yourself and myself, or people that like have listened past, maybe, if you've listened to any from early 90s to now, like you have a pretty good idea of what hip hop's kind of gone from to 90s to now, and can understand who's good, who's bad, what works, what doesn't in certain times. Versus like, oh, man, it's tough though, man, because I think you're right on the point that Andre could ride Drake's flow, but I just don't think he'd ride it the way that Drake rides it. And the same way, I don't think Drake could ride Andre's flow at all. Like he'd be like, he can't. No, Drake can't do that. Like that. That he's good with the tonality. Like he understands how it works. I mean, he was an actor, for God's sake. But I think he can lose out on a little bit of that. I mean, it's a tough bout. It's a tough bout.
I would love to see him on a track together. I mean, Andre 3000's got an album coming out. He said that he would like to work with Drake after he did the song with Kanye, Life of the Party, on the Donda Deluxe. So I would love to hear like an Andre 3000 Drake collab. Like I feel like they could do something really cool. I would want Drake to spit though, like just go back and forth. Like I feel like the way, because they both would rap about completely different things. Like it'd be funny. Well, it would actually be mad interesting to hear Drake try to come from an introspective point of view and go with Andre 3000's flow, because I really don't want to hear an older Andre 3000 try to flex on anything. Nor do I think that he cares to flex at all. Like I feel like it would be much cooler to just hear Drake kind of like dig deep again, because he don't necessarily be digging deep anymore. It's very materialistic rhymes.
Ladies love it, and he knows it. But I mean, it would be interesting. I'd be concerned with the fact that like, I don't know Drake personally, obviously, and you don't either, just like we don't know Andre 3000 personally. But, I mean, first off, if Andre wants to even get him on the track, you got to pay $500,000 to get him on the shit.
Like, that's true.
Already got to pay him. half a milli, he'd be up there for fucking 45 seconds.
That's a
Like,
discount. $500,000 a discount.
that's the crazy thing. It's like, I'm not saying that Andre don't got the bread, because I'm sure he could pull it from somewhere, but it's like, bro, is he really that imperative? Do you really want him that bad? Because if you want him that bad, you'll pay what you got to do. I would be curious to see how it would work. Only thing I'd be scared about is that I think Drake sometimes, like, this sounds bad because he has this happen to him sometimes. It's always about Lil Baby. But where he will get like outshined on his own tracks, where like then when somebody invites Drake onto their track, Drake just comes in there and tries to demolish them, bro. Like he's trying to ruin their career on their track.
Yeah.
And it's like that's
But he learned from Wayne though. Like the person that his mentor, that's all he ever did was take over people's tracks when he was a feature or when he was remixing the track or putting it on a mixtape. So that's all Drake knows is to come in and make that song his.
That was the thing. Like Lil Wayne was known to, like, he was gonna do it regardless. Drake is just out here spiteful as all hell. Like, nah, fuck this, bro. You done pay me for this track. I'm gonna put you in a body bag too while I'm at it.
Well, like, this is not the topic, but it reminds me of what just happened with 6ix9ine paying Kodak Black $1 million to be on his new track, and all Kodak did was diss him the whole verse. It was just talking shit to 6ix9ine, and that man, he had to put that shit out. He dropped $1 million on the fucking feature. Like, you can't do nothing about that but eat that and just like, damn, I guess I'm gonna have to put this shit out. You can't just eat that $1 million and not try to get no revenue from it. So that's kind of the same kind of idea or concept.
I mean, yeah, Drake's flow is insane. I mean, Andre's flow is nutty because he has the ability. His tonality is 0 to none. That's a good question for the folks in the comments and on YouTube and any other platforms. Feel free. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Obviously, just for the real music fans out there, if you haven't listened to Andre 3000, literally just go on to Spotify or whatever app you use for your music and just listen to like 10 to 15 songs. Like the top 15 songs.
Listen to Aquemini, his album Aquemini. Well, it's an Outkast album. It's Aquemini with him and Big Boy. That shit's it will show you his range of flow, and then you'll see just exactly how talented this man is and how he hears flows from a beat that no one else would hear.
Also, that Outkast is my dad's favorite band. So that to say anything, that's
fire.
Boys. I like the way you move. That's just a banger. But yes, they're both versatile, very special talents in their own right. That's why they've obviously been extremely successful in their careers. But on to the other question here, on the whole press, whatever you want to call it, press, whatever the fuck Drake's doing right now, press run. Drake also appeared on the new podcast with a young white lady, Bobbi. If y'all have not seen this shit, bro, it is one of the most uncomfortable watches ever. It's so funny though. So funny.
It is funny. It's mad funny.
Like it's one of those special type of, like, there's certain types of people that have the ability to not be funny, and they're so fucking funny. And that is like what Bobbi is. I give her props. You guys have definitely seen it. If you're a man, you've seen it. I guarantee you've seen it. I guarantee it. You've seen it. If you got TikTok or if you go on Reels at all on Instagram, you have seen this. But he just went on the podcast with her. And obviously she's a young white lady. Ain't nothing wrong with that, right? People getting their bread, however. But as you probably noticed, Drake isn't really involved with a lot of like the more predominantly black podcast or cultural platforms. Would you say Drake needs to make his appearance on more of those black cultural platforms, as in even a Joe Budden more often than not talk to like anybody within that space where it's a little bit more culturally intact, if that makes sense? Just want to see your perspective on it, Mike, because I definitely think it's something to speak about.
So first of all, I'm not in the business of telling other grown men what they can or can't do. So let's go ahead and get that right. So Drake can do whatever the fuck he wants to do. But this is just kind of like, if I was Drake, what do I feel like I have a responsibility to do those kind of things? My first thought before I even get into that is, this is Bobby's like third episode, I think. How is this random ass white girl that I ain't never seen before? I've literally never seen this chick before.
I know.
How does she get this big ass Drake podcast?
Respectfully, I'll tell you the reason why.
Go ahead.
I'll tell you the reason why. I don't know who she did her first episode. I don't know if the first episode was with Old Boy, the super dark skinned guy, that they were like, it was just super fucking awkward. But
Funny Mark or whatever.
Yeah,
Mark.
that shit.
That was a good podcast. Yeah.
But it's because she's white. She looks like a child, and she's got big boobs. Respect. Hey, for the ladies out there, I'm not trying to even sit here and be weird. It's just what it is. It's just what it is.
But sure, she's got to have I think she said her dad worked on Snoop Dogg's house or something. So like her dad is probably rich and got connections, because like, one, like, I really do like think that she's got something there. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I think this podcast is kind of reminds me of like Hot Ones. It's a very niche kind of idea that artists can come in or anybody, celebrities can come in, and when they have something that they're trying to put out or advertise for, like, it's a very niche thing. It's very fun. It's probably something like, oh man, people are gonna see these interviews and be like, I need one of those. Like, I can't wait till I get to do that and try to be funny and do some bullshit, because you're really just bullshitting for an hour and saying some dumb shit the whole time. So I feel like she's got something, but it kind of like it makes me feel weird that she gets this Drake interview on her third one. Like, she didn't have to like run it up for a few interviews. Bro. And she got Lil Yachty coming up next, and it's just like, no, because there's no way without connections that, like, yes, I get it, this is a cool style, but you don't get these type of interviews off second, third rip, and no one knows who this chick is. Drake, bro. And I could be uncultured. I could be uncultured. That could be me, but no one knows who she is. But that's beside the point. Let me get to the question.
Nobody knew who she was.
The question is, should Drake do more cultural platforms for interviews such as Joe Budden, Breakfast Club, Drink Champs, or any podcast around that realm
that has black people on it?
That has black
people on it. People. That's what we're trying to say.
Basically, do some nigga cast. Do a nigga cast. Not these little fucking adolescent looking white girls with big ass boobs that's apparently got a kid. Like, what the fuck? Drake's already got enough like fucking I guess, concepts out there that he'd be fucking with the younger white girls. So like that wasn't very smart on his choice. But yes, Drake needs to do more of the hip hop, more nigga cast out there, and sit down with the people, because those were the people, when you really think about when these rappers blow up, it's not these white platforms that are bringing you on when you're a small rapper. It is us. It is your people. It is your culture. It is the Joe Buddens of the world, the Breakfast Clubs of the world.
Don't forget, bro. He white too.
Nah, but he ain't claiming that though. He ain't advertised not one side of the white at all. The only time he advertises is when he be staring at Bobby's titties the whole show and spent like 50 minutes trying to rizz her up, and she won't going for it, even though I know when them cameras off, she was all for it. That shit, she was trying to hide that smile the whole time. I know when them cameras are. I know what's going down. He said it was 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, she ain't getting no flight back home. You gonna stay your ass right here.
He said you gonna fly me out. You gonna give me a flight back? He's like, yeah, that's the least I could do. I'm like, bro, he's out here doing this. That's not even Riz, bro. That's just money. That's just money. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll fly you back out. Like,
she was talking about how she was talking about how she was married and bro was rizzing her up the whole fucking time in the bed. Like, If we are talking, yo, that husband watching that interview is like, yo, what the fuck? So you came back. What time is your flight? Because there better not be no layover time from your flight after leaving that interview and the time that shit ended. But
that shit better end at 3:30, and it better be a flight at 4:15. 4:15.
But yeah, Drake needs to sit down with more of his people because one, like, this is a cool interview, but we still don't feel like we've gotten like the I personally don't feel like I've gotten the conversations that I would love to hear from Drake. Like, he's probably one of the biggest artists that I don't even feel like I know what's going on in his head at all. Not that he owes that to us.
Shit on purpose. He loves it. I think he loves the fact of him being super mysterious because that's what women like, and that's like also like one of the things that like he's already had a super private like personal life with having a kid for 2 years, and then nobody knew it until he finally showed his ugly ass kid to the world. And he did like the Barstool thing. That was a funny interview with his son and like all that stuff. But it's like, brother, like Drake, man, like I'm gonna tell you right now. My dad always told me this, like as a kid. He's like, like there's nothing wrong with hanging around like people that don't look like you. Like I don't have a problem with it. He's like, I don't have a problem with anybody. Like no matter what color your skin is, if you're good people, you're good people. If you're bad people, you're bad people. But your people, like being your people, if you know, you know. Those are the ones that are gonna pick you up when you're down and have your back when some shit pops off. Like the other people, like being like, and this no offense to people that are white, it's no offense at all, really. They're gonna ride that wave of that popularity. You don't see these people bringing on, like you said, up and coming artists. They bring you on when you're on the fucking, like you are there.
You're past up. It's up and it's stuck.
Yeah, it's up, stuck. So I think we've got to really he needs to take a step back. I think he'll probably. I wish he would have done it being that All the Dogs is about to come out, because I feel like this album, if it's gonna be like this old Drake, but it's gotta have some hitters for the guys in there, bro. Because I might start losing personally. I'm gonna be 100%. I'll listen to the songs, but I ain't gonna back him the same way if he just goes completely soft on me, bro. I can't do it. Like I need some of that like male energy, and women be like, "Oh my gosh, she's talking about masculine." No, I need some of that as a guy. Like I just want to hear that from another man, as someone that's as admirable. I'm not saying I admire Drake, but someone that is as admirable as him, to listen to.
Yeah, I agree. I would like to hear the album. Like I want just bars being spit. I want toxic masculinity, like,
I want some weekend type bullshit, bro. I want some shit where you saying like, this is what I did to some girl, and this shit was funny as fuck. Like she didn't even know I was doing it. Like, and it sounds bad. It's like, oh, like these guys all like they don't like women. Like, we love women, bro. We love women. We love women. I treat all women with respect. As long as I'm not being disrespected, that's a fact. I will disrespect the fuck out of you. Disrespect me. I will disrespect you, your mom, your grandmama, your fucking dead ass great grandparents. I'll definitely disrespect them. I will. And look, and I got plenty of ground to stand on, bro. Because I never met my grandparents. You can talk about my grandparents all you fucking want. They're in the damn grave.
I'll talk about them with you
since '96. But
you could be right. I don't fucking know.
Exactly. They don't fucking know. They don't care either. They be like, all right, whatever. But I'm serious, man. Like I think he would really, if he knew how to balance it the right way. I mean, he knows what he's doing, but if he really wanted to push that boundary and be like, okay, let me like bounce to some of the nigga cast, like you said, and then also do some of these interviews like with Bobby and etc. Like, bro, you're touching every single group of people you need to touch. You are going to maximize profit, my boy. Shit is going to be off the roof. If you could have the street like niggas listening to it and the white chicks, brother,
you're gone. You're out of here.
You win. You win. Like, you won life. He's already at the point where he is the closest person that I see in music personally at this time that has like seemed like he's won life. Like life. He's beat it.
Yeah.
The game, remember the game you guys played as kids? Yeah, he beat that shit. He's like right there. He's like right there, about to hit the fucking nice house at the top. But we won't drag that on for a lot. I know I just talked a shitload, right there. But I'm really passionate about that because I think that, like, as we all get older, like Mike and I have discussed this before, and I'm sure we discussed it on the pod at some point. But like, we were predominantly grew up around mostly people that did not look like us. And as you get older, you start to realize like there's nothing wrong with them. Like the people, like I still have good friends that don't look like myself, Michael, and Chad. But there's a different type of like respect you get for other people that look like you. And that's what I always appreciate as you get older. And him being what, 33, 34, somewhere around there, like in that age range.
Somewhere.
Like he understands that too. It's just he puts the character as in Drake out there, and then also he don't even like to be called his real fucking name, which is just crazy to me. Like
She was flaming his ass, Aubrey ass nigga.
Soft, because he knows it sounds soft. He knows it sounds soft, bro. That is the reason why he knows it sounds soft. Speaking of softies, speaking of soft motherfuckers, speaking of people that really, honestly, this ain't about no soft motherfuckers. This is about one of the hardest and craziest looking niggas I've ever seen in my life. If y'all didn't hear, my man YNW Melly done beat the case. He done beat it.
Beat it.
Beat the case. So the judge actually declared that YNW Melly's murder case as a mistrial after the jury was unable to make a unanimous decision on his guilt, basically guilty or innocent. So I know, Mike, you've been really keeping up with this quite a bit. I was keeping up with a little bit less. I'm sure a little less than you were, but I am extremely curious to hear your thoughts. And did you see this type of thing coming? I know we spoke about it a couple weeks prior, like what the outcome could be. But I'm just curious to see what you have to say about it, because I think it honestly surprised me a bit. I was like, either he's going to be guilty or he's going to be innocent. I didn't think there was going to be like, oh, we can mistrial this shit. But I'll let you kind of give your piece before I start spatting off at the mouth.
I honestly felt like this was going to end in a mistrial. This does not surprise me at all. When I was reading about the case, and this was one of those crazy ass cases, this was one of those Johnny Depp, Amber Heard ass cases where it's just a bunch of shit coming out left and right. And it just sounded like they were just getting them like, yeah, I mean, it sounded like in a perfect world, if we had video cameras, maybe YNW Melly, maybe he did it. He probably did do it. But as far as how the court works, and when it comes to getting evidence and gathering evidence and proving that someone is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, there was nothing there that you could stick on him or claim for him. So I knew right out the gate that he was getting off. He knew out the gate he was getting off. He was smiling since the day one in that court, smiling, joking, dapping his lawyer up, kikiing around. Like, this dude did not give a fuck. He knew he was getting out this bitch. He knew he had all his corners. He's like, yo, I wrote a song about this shit. You don't think I covered my tracks, my nigga? You think I'm dropping murder on my mind and I didn't cover all my tracks? Like, hell no. And what I told you when we first texted about it, because I sent this to Sterling and we were fucking texting about it, I said that, man, because they're going to try and retry him. I think they're just going to look dumb as fuck. It's not going to go. You got more evidence now that you...
They're gonna roast their shit if they try to retry.
Yeah, they're going to try and retry him. Like, you didn't get any more evidence, which you kept some shit in the tuck. You about to drop a deluxe trial or something? Like, yo, you ain't got no shit that you holding on to. He's going to be straight, and I hope... Well, I don't hope, because I mean, like, two young men did lose their lives, so let me chill out a little bit here. But it would be fucking golden, and probably like the biggest song that we've heard in the last 2 or 3 years if this man came out and made a song about exactly how we did it and how we got away with it. God damn, would that shit sell, bro? That wouldn't be the hardest first day out since fucking Kodak Black's first day out, bro. That shit would be fucking nuts.
It'd be like the Rico, like I think it's a trilogy.
Yeah.
It'd be like that type shit, bro.
It'd
Where
be
it's just like,
everything we
whoa.
wanted from Bobby Shmurda, but he gave us all these whack ass tracks, and now he's a fucking washed up one hit wonder, bro. Like that's what we need from. Because I know he got songs in a tuck. He probably been singing to himself during the trial.
I got mad. And they probably sitting there in the cell. The fucking security guards like, what the fuck is going on, bro? Like,
He's gonna be singing "You Didn't Check Under the Seats." The bullet shells are under the seats. Dumbass niggas.
nah, he actually put the bullet shells in his grill. He actually put
That
it
would
in
be
his
fucking
grill.
hard. That would be some hard
Nah,
ass shit, bro.
that'd be fire. I think that, I mean, when it comes, like, kind of like you were saying, like when a bunch of shit kind of comes out of nowhere, when if you're not, if for the folks that are not familiar with like the court of law and how it works with, you know, having to prove evidence beyond a reasonable doubt, like basically what that means in the most literal way possible, it basically means, like, to give you an example, is like if I went to, like, on a simple term, like a little, like a brother sister type of bullshit, like if I went to Michael's apartment and I walked in there and I took his chapstick, right? Say I took his chapstick and I burned it. Some bullshit. Something just dumb.
If you ever do that, I'm pimp slapping you across your fucking big ass head, nigga.
Well, first off, if I burn your chapstick anywhere near your door, it's got petroleum in it, bro. That shit would have burned down your whole goddamn apartment. You've been right inside, my nigga. You wouldn't be bitch slapping nothing. You be
No, I'm gonna bitch slap your ass and then right afterwards, be like, hey, bro, can I sleep on your couch?
nah, but like it's basically like if I went in there and I did that, and like say for some reason I could get tried for it. Tried means I could go to court for it. And so the jury of what is 11, right? I'm sorry. Or is it 12? Sorry. 12.
12.
12. 12. Want to double check. If they were like, oh, we can't prove evidence beyond a reasonable doubt. Like, how can you prove, unless there's a security camera in there, that I did that? There's nothing you can say. There's nothing that can be done. It's like, nah, Strong was the last one in my apartment. I'm like, well, did you not just lose the chapstick? I mean, it could have easily. Because how many times you lose a chapstick on a daily basis or on a weekly, monthly? Like, it happens all the time for most people. But that's the point. Aside, back to the main point here, YNW Melly, bro, first off, his lawyer deserves whatever amount of money they were already paying him, and some more, because they have to give suspicion to the jury that it's like, oh, like, this can't be completely him doing this, or like he couldn't have done this. Like, I mean, if I was on a jury, I'd be sitting there like, damn, like, I know this nigga for real, bro. Like, I know who the fuck he is, bro. He done did this shit, but like, I mean,
you know they're
I
all
ain't
sitting there like, well, we know this nigga did this shit, but like, you didn't prove it yet. So
yeah, like you didn't prove shit. Like, you look at you look at the state, like, damn, that's all y'all could bring today. Fuck.
Cause they probably all ready to lock this nigga up. They're like, but bro, like, you really didn't show me shit, so like, I don't know what to do.
Apparently,
apparently,
pissed off as fuck. Like, damn.
apparently,
Really,
8 of the 4 said he was innocent, and the other 4,
for like he guilty as motherfucker.
yeah, the other 4 probably pissed. Y'all dumbass niggas know this nigga did that stupid ass shit. Y'all about to let him back on the streets.
He gonna do this shit again and be like, get back at it. Bro, I'm telling you, it doesn't surprise me with high profile cases like this, man. The problem is they're so televised. There's so much around it. It's so much uncertainty because they know the jury knows they're being videotaped. They everybody knows what's going on.
And
like,
the worst
bro,
part about it too is like when it's really high profile, you bring in what is it called, the court of public opinion, and so like a lot of people can get caught up in what Twitter is saying, what Instagram is saying, like, oh man, this guy did it, and it can kind of really mess with the jury too, because like, you know, now they're really thinking about what everyone's kind of have to say about it rather than what was presented to them.
the thing about that, they're actually supposed to be completely disdained from all outside information.
We know damn well in 2023 that is not even fucking possible, bro. How do you even drive home without hearing some shit about it?
They don't have TVs, that they won't have TVs. They don't have their phones. They literally are just, they don't talk to each other when they leave the courtroom. Like, it's literally like they're living in a prison for however long the that's why I always feel bad for juries.
And they probably got a $500 check when it was done. Yeah, I paid $500. I stayed in the jury for fucking 2-3 days. Them niggas gave me $20 and told me, here, go get yourself a couple Chipotle burritos. Like, shut your dumb ass up, nigga.
Point that from Chipotle with fucking $20 the way prices are now. I mean, it's crazy, but I think a lot of it goes into when people see the jury's faces, they have real lives. Like, these people have real lives. They have children, they have husbands, wives, like grandchildren. I mean, they got all types of regular ass shit, mortgages. Like, bro, first things first, if you're gonna give somebody, hey, yo, we're gonna give you $500 for taking you out of work for a month and a half, I hope you don't end up out on the street. Like, that's the first problem. Secondly, we already know people, like you said. I mean, the outside, the court of opinion of the public's court opinion is obviously extremely important. Like, there's obviously, these people know what's going on, and if they have any idea of what's going on, you think that when they got driven over there or picked up, however it works, to the high profile case, somebody in their family wasn't like, yo, this guy is this. Yeah. I mean, that's one of those things. Like, it's one of those things. If I was doing that, and say my mom was on this type of case, I know damn well my mom doesn't know who the fuck YNW Melly is, bro. She has no idea. She probably, and I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you, she probably see them dumbass grills in his mouth, like, guilty.
Guilty. My mom's the same way. That nigga did it, yo. I don't know if he did that, but he did something, so he guilty as fuck.
He did motherfucking something. I know damn well he ain't sit there and say, I ain't done nothing. Like,
he does something. He might not did this murder case, but he look at him. You know he did some shit. So go ahead and lock him up.
And you know the funny thing is, our dads being like, damn, that nigga look dumb as fuck, but I'll give him a chance.
Yeah,
like, I'll give him a chance. Our dads would be like, oh, fuck, he probably did do it, but it's got to be beyond a reasonable doubt. Our mom's like, nah, fuck that. Like, I don't, nah.
Out of here.
Get out of here. So, for the folks out there, it's not a surprise. These high-profile cases, it's just what happens, especially when you're coming about. I mean, obviously the most prolific high-profile case really ever is obviously the O.J. Simpson case, and we saw what happened about that. If the glove don't fit, you must acquit. That's the biggest hop of shit I've ever heard in my life. O.J. didn't do it, by the way. Just saying.
It was his son.
Hey, we ain't nobody getting accused. Ain't nobody. But when it comes down to it, like, I want to see what the folks are seeing in the comments on the other platforms. Like, do you guys think he did it? I mean, are you like our moms, where you're like, oh yeah, he did it. Like, don't even give a fuck what the fuck. Like, look up a picture of what he looked like. Damn, he did it. Or you're like, just based on everything you've seen in the news and all the information that they're given, like, oh shit, like he might, quite frankly, not. He may have not been. I mean, honestly, bro, it's kind of hard not to say he did do this shit, bro.
Or maybe you just want some new ass music because bro was dropping some goddamn bangers before he got locked up. Like, if you like me, so.
Yeah. You just kind of like thinking like that. I mean, like, there's a lot of different reasons, but I mean, maybe if he got locked up, he'd come out like a Bobby Shmurda and be washed up too. And we don't want that. We can't. The music industry can only take so many hits, bro. But speaking of hits, speaking of somebody that obviously is prolific in the media over the past, through the COVID years, we've got the one and only Doja Cat. No eyebrows, no hair, crazy looking motherfucker, Doja Cat. So, if y'all didn't hear about it, this shit is actually mad fucking funny, bro. I'm not gonna sit here and cap with you. This is one of the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. It's so sad. It made me fuck with her even more. But Um, so Doja Cat actually loses over 200,000 followers in a day after expressing how she doesn't love her fans because she doesn't even know them. I gotta read. I gotta read this shit verbatim. All right, let me pull up the tweet. Let me pull it up. Was it a tweet or was it an Instagram post? I can't remember.
It's in the doc.
I can't pull it up. I think. Oh, never mind. I got it. I got it. Oh no, it's just a picture of her looking crazy.
I got it.
Actually, read the tweet for the folks, bro. Read the thread, please. This shit is just comedy. And read the usernames too.
Okay. So it starts off with Doja Cat. Doja Cat makes a. Is it a thread? What do we?
Doja Cat.
Doja Cat, nigga. The fuck you out here on, bro? It's Doja Cat. Hey, bro. So Doja Cat makes a thread. We call it. What do we? Are they called threads? What is this called? I'm not hip
It's just
yet.
a thread, yeah.
Okay, it's just a thread.
It's called a thread. It's called a thread. Yes.
So Doja Cat makes a thread. Says, "My life, my rules, my style, my attitude." That's how I imagine Doja Cat would say that. Then Doja.cat.iran says, "I want to hear you say, I do love you guys. As usual, you say to your fans." Some fucked up grammar, but all right. And then Doja Cat responds, "I don't though, because I don't even know y'all." And then we got a whole nother person comes in and enters the thread. We got Daily Taylor T13. Wow, that's a fire ass fucking handle right there. Daily Taylor T13. This is your claim to fame on the After Dark podcast. She says, or he says, or they says, we don't know. We don't discriminate on the After Dark podcast. And we don't know you, but we have supported you through thick and thin. Mind you, you be nothing without us. You be working at a grocery store, making songs on fucking GarageBand, Miss High School Dropout, ... Damn, she came for Doja Cat's ass, bro. That shit hit home to this bitch. She was pissed. Taylor T, she had the T for this bitch. All right. So Doja Cat won't take in that shit. Clearly, it's motherfucking Doja Cat. She gonna reply in the thread. She said, "Nobody forced you. I don't know why you talking to me like you my mother. Bitch, you sound like a crazy person." And so that is the extent of the thread. And essentially what we were trying to get here to is, Sterling, do you believe that Doja Cat has a point that, maybe she has a point on the basis of her not knowing her fans, so she doesn't need to have any love or express any love to her? Or do you think that maybe she needs to reevaluate her position on her supporters? Where do you land on this?
I mean, just to be frank with you, bro, like, look, I'm gonna tell you something about black folks. I think she's mixed too, but she black. You know how it works. But I'm gonna tell you something about black folks. One thing black folks don't play around with is fucking money, bro. They'll blow that money. They'll blow that shit in a heartbeat. They'll blow you.
On the dumbest shit.
You give them 100 grand, that shit's gone tomorrow. Shit gone tomorrow. Not one goddamn investment. Ain't not one. Ain't not one. Look, done got a car and wrecked in the same day. But I'm telling you, bro, like, this goes directly. I think this is a countersuit, or like however you want to say, like, this is a remnant of like, I don't give a fuck, I want my bread type shit. That's what her mentality is. Like, I don't give a fuck if you listen to me or not. She's like, I'm getting money because your dumbass is. Like, you decide to listen to my music. I didn't make you. Yes, I think she should have taken it in a different route, because I do believe this could be a genuine, like honestly, a fallout to her career, bro. Like, this could genuinely, like, fuck her whole career up. Just the way that she spoke to these folks. Just because maybe she might have been on one, like, there is no excuse, right? Like, on any social media platform. But I mean, at the same time, like, deep down, a lot of artists are thinking the same thing, bro. Like, there's a lot of artists out there that are just like her. They just won't say it. Like, they will literally be like, "You think Taylor Swift gives a fuck about all her fans, bro?"
Hell no, there's way too many of them.
Them Swifters, them Swifters, whatever the fuck you call them, they motherfucking everywhere, bro. You go on the goddamn street, they could literally have a cult just sitting in the corner, start by a group of 50 people, bro. But
And here's also what you got to remember too is like, these celebrities, they got fans, and sure, they should love their fans. But have you ever thought about that y'all aren't the niggas that they wanted to like them? Like, maybe they got a group of fans like, yo, because like, if we being real in the real world, I wouldn't fuck with none of y'all niggas. Like, y'all were not who I was trying to impress. I'm glad that y'all fuck with my shit and you running the bills up and you get me this bag, but like, I really wasn't fucking with y'all to begin with.
well, it's like for example, here's a real like for the guys out there or girls, I guess it can go both or whatever way you go, like straight, bi, gay, asexual, whatever. Um, if it's like if you got a crush on like say it's like two girls, right? Two girls you got a crush on, or vice versa, whatever you prefer as a guy, girl, or whatever you claim to be. Um, you got a crush on two girls, but there's like another like 5 or 6 girls that you are not even a bit interested in at all whatsoever. And they all like you. They express that they like you. They express that they like want to be with you type shit. And you say that like, yeah, like, nah. They gonna be upset. They gonna be upset. It's getting rejected to your face by someone you quote unquote admire, right? Um, while Doja, like you said, might have like an ideal fan that she would want to be friends with or want to be a fan of her. And quite frankly, if that's the case, she could say that. And then honestly, she could probably start a whole fandom on it if she really wanted to. But excuse me, this could genuinely be the downturn in her career, bro, because she just did this shit.
And I think
All because she
there's also kind of a disconnect there. Like, I understand what the fan is saying and what Doja Cat is saying in this instant. If I'm like being real and not on my fucking funny shit, when I really take a look back, you know, the fans want love, and Doja Cat is thinking very specifically about the definition of love. Like, there is no possible way for her to love you niggas. She don't know you. Have you ever loved someone? Well, I guess they do from a celebrity standpoint, but like, you don't actually know Doja Cat. You love what you see in the music videos. You love what you see in interviews or what you think the idea of Doja
it's
Cat.
a fantasy, bro.
But you don't
It's
love
bro, it's
Doja.
a
She's not. Her name's not even Doja Cat. You don't love her. You love the artist. And she's saying, you know, I can't love you guys. Do I appreciate? Do I, you know, adore the fact that you support my career and have allowed me to get here? I'm sure she would admit to that. But she's probably saying, how could I love you? I don't know you. You're just a person on the street. And she's probably saying, you probably shouldn't love me. You could say you love my music, you love my artistry, you love my creativity and passion for what I do, but you can't love me. You don't know me. I could be the biggest dickhead, which Doja Cat has proven that she probably is the biggest dickhead. So like, and you, as soon as she's showing her colors, you don't love her so much, which is exactly her point.
That's for sure.
So
They
that's
had
kind
you
of where
up
I,
a dick.
that's where I, that's kind of where I stand.
Nah, that shit. I just had to have you read the thread or whatever, because that shit's too funny. The bitch that came at her, bro, that was or Jesus.
The
Damn.
Taylor T chick.
Taylor T, chick, boy, girl, they, them, whatever. They really did come at her throat, bro. Called her, said she a high school like came at her education, came at everything she done in her
The
life.
nerve to call her a high school dropout where she's worth fucking multi-millions and this person's probably not on shit. Probably not doing a goddamn thing. And they're gonna come at her fucking high school dropout, bro. Some people got some crazy nerve in this world. It's insane. That shit
All I
funny
gotta
as fuck
say,
though.
all I gotta say is, bro, if you get on threads, first off, to come at famous people, you ain't got much going for you, dog. You ain't got much. You need to get a fucking hobby. You need to get a fucking hobby. Unless you're living My 500-Pound Life or whatever the fuck that show's called. That's the most pathetic. That is, by the way, side note, like complete tangent. That is one of the most pathetic forms of humanity I've ever seen in my entire life. It's like My 400-pound life or whatever the fuck, whatever weight they are, bro. I saw a motherfucker that was 800 fucking.
Oh, God damn, son.
That's the type of motherfucker that'll take a cheeseburger. And take about 5 more, bro, and be like, "Yo, like, go to McDonald's, get the order."
That's the person to fucking eat the burger and then complain that something was missing in one another. Like, well, where's the burger? I'll put some pickles on it since it was missing. Nah, bitch, I ate that burger. Now you gonna make me a burger with the adequate amount of pickles.
It's like the type of nigga to fucking eat that whole fucking hand up. They probably bite their fingers while they be eating sometimes. Like, god damn, like 800 fucking pounds. I'm sorry. Nah, one day we gonna have a topic about that show because that shit is just downright fucking just disrespectful to humanity. Like, I have nothing against people.
Oh my god.
I have nothing against. I have nothing against people who are a little bit overweight and like trying to work on it, or even if they don't complain about it and they're just overweight. But like, dog, that shit is just unacceptable, bro. Like, you know what you got?
Like, bro, how do you even let it get that bad? Like,
once you hit 300, unless you're a pro freaking football player, I'm like, what the fuck were you thinking, bro? Like, were you just like, fuck you, like, wait, ball type shit? Like, you like, yo.
You really just don't like strawberries that much, my dog? Like, bro. Fuck.
I'm sorry.
You went to Five Guys and ordered fucking 12 of them niggas. Oh my god. We
get canceled, bro. It's over.
It's over. Damn. Career and passion at a 4.3 now.
Oh my god. Ooh, they had me crying laugh. I haven't had a laugh like that in a minute. Good lord. So for the folks out there, we're back on topic. And we're keeping that. You know, we sit down, we do our cuts, one cut at the best.
No, we're gonna hold on to that one. That's some gold right there.
That's some gold right there. Good. Hopefully that nigga don't try to eat the gold too. But
you either laughing with us or it's a wake up call. There's no in between there.
There is no in between. Like, bro, honestly, as long as you ate fucking 800 pounds, like, I'm with you, bro. Like, that's what it is, bro. Like, we making this a topic next week. I'm finding some clips. But so Carlee Russell, for the folks that haven't been keeping up in the news, Carlee Russell.
Oh god.
Carlee Russell's attorney. Well, just to give you backstory, Jesus Christ. Carlee Russell is the woman who claimed to be abducted. This shit is fucking comedy too, bro. Like,
this shit's fucking dumb, bro.
So Carlee Russell claimed that she was kidnapped and like proceeds to like, I'm not even gonna tell it all, but her attorney, long story short, her attorney claims that the whole abduction story on the side of the road was made up. We want to break it down and give our thoughts on this. Michael, can you start, please?
Yeah, so let me give a little more insight. So what had happened was there's this young black woman, and yes, it is important to insinuate her race, and we'll come full circle with that. So there's a young black woman. She was on the phone And she pulled over on the side of the road. It was nighttime. She called 911. She claimed to have saw a baby. I think it was in a stroller. And then she said the baby was running away. And so the 911 person said, keep an eye on her. So she proceeds to keep an eye on her. And then next thing you know, the phone gets disconnected and she was screaming. So what we were told that happened was that she got abducted by a redhead nigga who came out of the woods, abducted her, stripped her down, forced her to do sexual acts and take sexual photos, and then she returned back to her parents' house 48 hours later with no harm, no foul done to her body. Parents claim she looked a little distraught. But everyone was kind of questioning, okay, so, what happened? Where's the baby? There was no signs of any of that going on when we saw the car, we were looking at your history records. Besides the point. So now it came out that the attorney said that all this shit was made up. It was fake. They asked for prayers. I don't know what the fuck we praying about. Like, what? Asked for prayers and consideration at this time. Like, did this bitch have consideration when she was over here lying on this fake ass baby's life? And whoever fucking ginger redhead that got questioned because he was just going about his day, and apparently there's a ginger redhead fucking kidnapping somebody. So some ginger out there, just had his day whole ass ruined because he was getting questioned because this bitch just out here making up lies at nighttime. So anyways, what they did, they went and they searched her recent searches, her search history online. She had search history.
I got him right in front. I got him right here.
Go ahead. List it out for me. List it out for me.
So the Alabama police reveal Carlee Russell's Google searches leading up to her disappearance. First one being, what is the need, or quote unquote, it's literally quote need to pay / max age for an Amber Alert, ? End quote. Quote, how to take money from register without being caught, end quote. Birmingham bus station, end quote. Quote, one-way bus ticket to Nashville, end quote. Quote, the movie Taken, end quote.
Oh my God. You couldn't have searched no real crime abduction scenes. You just went to the movie Taken, bro.
She also proceeded to ask in some of her Google searches, do you have to pay for an Amber Alert?
Yeah, I did see that.
Bro, like, I just gotta say, like, what the fuck is wrong with people, dude? Like, you gotta be a special type of something. Like, I mean, there's a special type of niggas that weigh 800 pounds, and there's a special type of people like this where they really just make it up whole ass hoaxes. Like, you went through a whole, like, it's trials and tribulations to become 800 pounds just as much as it is to make up a hoax. Like, I just don't understand it. And it's one of our women too, man.
Can the parents out there, like, are y'all not giving no support to your kids? Are you not listening to them? Or you just kind of disregarding them? Like, for somebody to go to this kind of extent to get some attention, like, somebody around her need to give her a goddamn hug or something, yo. Who goes to this level to get some attention? First of all, I'm pissed off about this, low key. It's funny as fuck because it is funny especially after what's his face, Jesse Smollett or whatever from the other show who faked his hoax. Especially knowing how that ended up for that nigga, for you to go on and do what you did. It pisses me off because it's like, damn, bro, they ain't never gonna believe us for shit. For shit, yo. They'll never believe a nigga again because we have these big ass hoax. See, when white people have a hoax, they be getting rich as fuck off of it. Why can't we be coming up with no scams like that? White people be having the Madoff scam with 70 billion, or the Anna shit that we saw on Netflix where she out here getting real estate companies being these powerful positions. We out here scamming at like we got abducted. Why we gotta be losing in our scams? Like, what the fuck? We can't even scam to get rich. We scam to we acting like we getting sexually molested or fucking beat up and shit. Like, we are terrible scammers. The trick to being a scammer is you supposed to be up at the end, not supposed to be down. What the fuck are we doing, bro? This should be pissing me off. But on a real note, they're just not going to believe us. Like, it's already a big thing that, most Amber Alerts or big, not Amber Alerts, but big news stories that go on television about abductions of females are usually white females, blonde hair, blue eyes, brunette girls. That's usually what goes viral. That's usually what takes place and what we see all the Netflix docs about and stuff like that. And we don't ever get any light on the black girl. And the only reason why this one got light is because I believe it's because of the baby that she claimed was there too. And because of that,
yeah, she knew. She knew.
Yeah, she knew.
She's like, they ain't gonna give a fuck about me, but they give a fuck if a baby's involved.
Yeah. So I think the only reason why this one got some television and some clout nationwide is because of the baby that was with it. But for it to be a hoax, just really just gonna, it's gonna pause all that. Like, they're just gonna be like, oh hell no. Everyone's gonna question that shit, even though they shouldn't. Because if someone's abducted, there should be no questions. We should believe that wholeheartedly. But we're human at the end of the day, and there's going to be some doubt, especially when we've had two incidents side by side happen kind of relatively close to each other.
I don't even fucking know what to say, man. Mankind is so diverse. You've got 800-pound people.
You stuck on the 800-pound niggas.
Bro, that shit is too funny. I'm about to watch that shit after we're done, and I'm gonna be bringing that heat next time I talk about it. But man, and then you got this lady. Like, I mean, look, like, I agree with you. Like, if there is an abduction or somebody says there's, like, we should definitely have to take it seriously. There shouldn't be like, oh, like, are you sure? Like, blah blah blah. But and then to come back and then admit that you did that it won't true. Like, at least at least run with it, bro. Run with it the best you can. Like, because at that point you're done lost. You ain't gonna win. You ain't gonna win for shit. You might as well just play it out. You ain't got nothing. She's a nursing student, bro. Like, you got better things to look forward to. But you want to.
She said them nursing classes hard as hell. I'm tired of taking these.
Yeah, she said. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. She was in summer school, probably taking some summer classes. Like, damn, these motherfuckers harder than motherfucker. I'm about to get me a free A real quick. Like, let me get out of here. Cause like, dog, and then just to be so obvious and knowing the government can pull up your fucking search history, like, what are you doing? Like, they really searched her history and they got her ass like that. They're like, damn. You really dumb. They were probably, I guarantee, the forensic people.
You are really dumb, for real. What's that one fucking black dude? Remember that viral ass video? Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Hide kids, hide your wife, hide your kids.
You are really dumb, for real.
Yeah, that nigga is like, he was on crack then, and he looked like, I saw a picture of him not too long ago. He still looked the same. Like, he cracked out this time.
Shout out to crack epidemic. We need to get sponsored by the crack epidemic. for any crack dealers out there, this is a sponsorship for your channel. If you're looking for some advertisement, bro, come and bring it this way. Give us the cut, yo. But don't put us on none of them financial statements. We need all cash, baby.
Nah, maybe we need to put on 800-pound friends on some crack. They'll definitely lose some weight then. For sure. But nah, man, I just think it's wild. It's one of those crazy things where, I mean, it sucks to hear that it was a lie. I'm glad that obviously she's okay and nothing did happen to her. Like, that is something I'm happy about. But like, damn, like, that's just flat out embarrassing. Imagine coming back to class and then being like, that's the bit.
So what'd you do last weekend?
Well, I went missing. Oh, you went missing? Oh, did you really though? Like, who? Like, how can you be her friend after this? Like, you'd be like, damn, she a pathological liar, my nigga. Like, she just like people tell lies. Like, lies are normal, like white lies, like whatever. But dog, like you just made up a whole ass story and it got on the news. It's on NPR, bro.
And like
Like,
all the searches were literally like hours before she did it. So this bitch did all this off a whim. She really sat here like, I'm bored. Let me figure this out. It won't no planning or nothing. She did all that off a whim. She was really just bored as hell one day.
she really might actually not think about it, she might not even have friends. So that might be why she did it. But in terms of shocking, and something that's kind of just crazy, man. There's some crazy things. There's 800-pound people. We got Carlee Russell, and now we got this. Um, if you guys didn't hear, Bronny James, the son of the LeBron James, collapsed today. This today.
Yesterday, I believe.
Yesterday at the USC. He, for those who don't know, he plays at University of Southern California now. This is his freshman year. He collapsed at their basketball practice, went into cardiac arrest, aka heart attack, for those that don't know the medical terminology. And, obviously going to send love and prayers, yeah, I hope he's obviously, and he is okay, like after, all this. But the question at hand is pretty simple. I mean, does it feel like, Mike, that, young athletes are constantly facing more injuries and more health scares than they've ever faced, like just maybe even not even 20 years ago, than like they do now? It feels like every other week there's something going on physically or with like when we start talking about heart and blood, it gets really, really scary. But what are your thoughts on, young athletes at this point going forward?
Yeah, and before I speak on that, I do want to say, like, prayers to Bronny and the whole James family. When me and Sterling have our opinions on GOATs or when we're talking about basketball, that's strictly an on court thing. Like, we're not
Yeah.
wishing no harm on the family. They're people at the end of the day. When it comes to talking about people, we have love, we have respect there. We want everyone to live long, full, healthy lives. We don't wish that on anyone. It's a really scary moment. So just wanted to make sure that we send like love and prayers and thoughtfulness their way as well. But to get to the question at hand, I feel like when I was a kid, I did not notice as many, especially star athletes, like having these injuries. It feels like nowadays that like the seasons and who wins championships are almost completely determined by injuries.
Like
Like who,
injuries.
yeah, like who can stay healthy the whole year is really the golden ticket to winning the championship. And it seems like anytime we get a star athlete or something like that, they get hurt in their rookie season. Look at Zion. Zion's played like 60 something games or something like that.
And he getting bitches pregnant too.
Getting
That shit
bitches
crazy.
pregnant, spending up all his money, eating a bunch of goddamn food. Like, shit's crazy. But he might be on that 800-pound shit one time. But
He really might.
But yeah, so I feel like I have noticed a lot of injuries, and I really don't know like what to put a finger on it and kind of like point at why this is happening. I have a few scenarios. I know that as men, we have significantly less testosterone than our dads, and even much more so than our granddads and whatnot. It's a trending decline of how much testosterone we have. I feel like that could play a role because maybe we're not developing into the physical nature and the masculine type of men that they were, per se. Not to say that we're not still masculine, but to the extent that they were. And then I also probably say it's a lot of like the parenting styles, a lot of coddling, a lot of people playing video games. And, back in the day, they were working, they were doing a lot of physical nature outside. And, we have science that tells us that they need to rest and do that. But I'm here to tell you right now, I feel like that rest and shit is overrated. I feel like your ass need to be out there playing. And the only way to build calluses is by keep hitting those fucking areas down. You're not going to build up any wear and tear on that without going out there and doing that. When you have fresh hands, The only reason why you got calluses is because you keep fucking beating it with the metal. If you're pumping weight and you keep hitting it over there and rubbing up against it, it builds hard calluses on your hand. The only way to do that is to keep going out there. If not, you're just gonna
Yeah.
have weak ass, soft ass hands. But ain't nothing wrong with some nice moisturized hands. It is 2023. We looking good out here. We ain't fucking cavemen. You know what I'm saying? But I have noticed. I have noticed a difference, and I really don't know where it's coming from, and I really don't know how to fix it, but it is prevalent.
Before I get to my point, on this topic, my point in particular, I mean, I wanted to hit on like the low T thing is something that um is kind of crazy now you really look at it and you say it like that. And I'm sure most people, because like, you know, if you look at like every man, like our grandfathers, if you have pictures of your granddads, like if you see any pictures of your grandfathers when they were like around our age, physically they look different, bro.
They're like
It's just
grown
what it is.
ass niggas.
They look like grown men. Nowadays, like you look at somebody that's our age, you like, oh, like that guy's probably like 23, 24, 25, 26, at that range. Like that's a normalized thing now. Whereas like even my dad, like, yeah, my dad was still slender, like slender. Granted, my dad's a couple inches taller than I am, but even in that, like he wasn't even working a job where he didn't do manual labor. Like he just genuinely was just bigger, broader shoulders. Like he actually had a thick ass mustache. My mustache can't grow any further than this. Like it's a crazy thing. The low T things, I think one is to what we eat. I don't think necessarily from my like growth and like the way that I've been built up. I ate my vegetables when I was asked to. Like it wasn't like I was getting cheated on my stuff like that. But I think it's what in all the foods we eat, man. Like the foods that we eat now compared to what they were eating then. Like, bro, eating fast food back then, bro, like was so fucking rare for my parents. First off, it was too expensive to just go eat fast food, right? Like
And
let's
it
go
was
eat
much
fast food.
fresher fast food. It wasn't this super processed, quick fast food. Like they're basically
Yeah.
going and get a fresh ass burger with some fresh fries.
Yeah, yeah. Now it's like, bro, that shit got that pink stuff from Super Size Me, motherfucker. Like, um, and that's one thing I did want to speak on that, and that's also why you've seen like over the past 30 years, I'm sure. Obviously, everybody knows Viagra has been a thing. You've probably seen hymns now coming out, like Blue Chew, all this stuff when it comes to, like ED and whatnot. Like all these things were not that like type of like. I mean, obviously they were dick pills when our parents were a little younger too, but it wasn't as prevalent and as like almost accepted to use or even like oh why the fuck would you even consider doing something like that, right? Um that goes I think that goes into the ED thing and then testosterone in general. It goes to a lack of I don't think it's the lack of masculinity in itself. I think it's our overexposure or I don't want to is it that the phrase I'm looking for is overexposure. Maybe it's our overexposure to sexualized acts in like our
Overstimulate.
broad
Yeah.
daylight. We're overstimulated.
Yeah.
Like we literally, I could go see a half naked girl on Instagram without even having to try and do that. Like what?
You're hearing Chad.
Oh, I was like, whoa. That boy been yelling. Uh, that was an ugly ass laugh. What the fuck? Uh, but no, the overstimulation of the female body for straight men, I definitely think is a huge thing. And you don't really see it a lot in women that I hear about. It's like going into these same type of injuries, whether that be a cardiac arrest or those type of things, or even just physical injuries like tearing an ACL, like these major injuries that can warp a whole career for most athletes. But I think that the health that we have, like with the younger generation, like there isn't we're not as health conscious as I think, not even close to what we were when we were kids, right? Like how many kids actually learn about like the food pyramid? Like who actually understand what the
They're not
fucking food
learning.
pyramid
Chat
is.
GBT's doing everything for
That's true. I mean, like, there's no like digestion, not to play on the food pyramid thing, but there's no digestion of what is needed to live a healthy, eat healthy, live a healthy lifestyle aside from go outside and run. Because the funny thing is, enough most people once they get full-time jobs, and I know people like this, like I'm guaranteed 65-70% of this entire apartment complex I live in, and probably same for you, probably didn't start running or working out or doing anything until they got a full-time job. And the reason is for health, for an overall mental health, not even a physical health thing. It's an overall mental health thing to take their mind off of something that's numbing for a lot of people. Um, so I really don't have an answer, just like yourself. I think it's, also kids are like that have been coming up have taken a lot more pills than we probably have taken. Like they probably taken a lot more ibuprofen, Advil. That thins your blood out, naturally thins your blood out. Like it's a natural thing. That's why you don't take drugs like pills before you drink unless you're really trying to get fucked up and have a hell of a night, because you will not remember that shit, I promise. Um, Unless you drink in super, super moderation. So it's scary, man. And I fear for like my own children, like if I'm blessed enough to have them, um, like would I have to go through something similar where I'm like, I mean, that's a scary moment for any, especially like somebody like a dad, like to see his like his eldest, going through that type of situation. That's just one of those things where I definitely don't wish that upon my worst enemy for sure. But I'm glad that Bronny's okay. I really hope that they do some research into this. I guarantee fucking now, LeBron's gonna have some shit going on, trying to like figure out what the fuck is going on. Like, why is this happening to healthy, quote unquote, healthy athletes? Um, and freak things are happening too often to call them freak anymore. That's the scary thing.
Yeah.
Um,
And,
it's becoming
a lot of people
more
on
normal.
Twitter are claiming that the vaccines got something to do with it. I don't know if that's the case. It could possibly be the case, but hopefully get some answers on what's going on. But I don't really have too much more on that topic. It seemed like you were wrapping up your thought as well, Sterling. Is that yeah, so
About right.
that is the show today, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you sticking around with us. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Comment some thoughts. I'm sure you have something to say, whether it's good or bad, or you're coming at us for our 800-pound rant. Hey, we'll take that too. That's
Hey,
still a comment. So
I take that shit.
we'll take it. Drop it down below and make sure you subscribe. We are growing that, and we're on the road to 50. So let's do it, guys. But for all the fellas out there listening, shit. I gotta talk. I gotta. Oh, I had something in my throat. My bad. So, for the fellas out there listening, listen, they only want a 1%, man. So you gotta quit your bitching and just get your bread up already, all right? And for the ladies out there listening, he don't want you, sweetie. So just move on. It's okay. But guess what? You're still beautiful and powerful and will always love you. It's the After Dark podcast. Until next time.